45. Time to talk to the voice of the creative economy from Idealogue magazine, idealogue.co.nz. It is Vincent Heeringa this morning, who is consoling himself, I think, in a nice warm cup of coffee this morning about the loss of REM. They're calling it quits this morning, Vincent.
Are they? News to me. That is a shame. Although
I thought you'd be the first onto that
anything
news.
worth listening to in the last little while?
Probably not. No.
I think it had all gone a little bit flat for them.
That's true.
It takes me back though. I remember first hearing REM in 1986 in a biochem lab in Victoria University.
What were you doing in the biochem lab? Was this at 2 a.m. in the morning? No answer. Did you ever see them live?
They played at Western Springs, didn't they? And it wasn't great. Not a stadium band.
No.
Actually, it would have been a terrific pub band, you know.
I was at that gig as well, but for me, that gig was the discovery of the support band, Grantley Buffalo. Yes. At the time.
Yeah, that's right. I hated that band.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, what a shame.
Oh, yeah. They're droney, miserable.
They are a little bit miserable.
Actually, very similar to REM. They were a perfect combo.
Let's move on then to the topic today, which is lamb and why economists are getting all excited about lamb.
Well, this is a good news story from the ag scene. You know, we had lots of good news stories from the ag scene, economically at least. And sheep are the forgotten part of our economy. Of course, you know, we're lampooned internationally for our reliance on sheep and our love affair with the sheep. And not many people have been talking about sheep lately, but something quite dramatic has happened worldwide with sheep, that hardly any of them get grown anymore. Even in New Zealand, like in the 80s, when I was listening to REM, we had something like 80 million sheep. We're down now to something hovering between 30 and 40 million sheep. We've halved our sheep population in New Zealand, but quietly and in the background, the value of sheep has done the opposite, has sort of more than doubled, maybe even tripled in value since then.
Well, I think anyone who goes out and purchases a leg of lamb or even a dirty old lamb shank can see that the prices have probably tripled. I
think they probably have. In fact, according to this Rabobank report, we are at a 10-year high. In fact, we've had 10 years of, they're calling it the fairy tale season.
Well, New Zealanders haven't had cheap lamb for a while now, have they, in our own bushes?
No, and that reflects, you know, we pay pretty much international prices here for our commodities. In fact, if you listen to the critics, Fonterra charges us more, a little bit like Adidas, by comparison with export prices. But yeah, we pretty much pay the global price in New Zealand. And at the same time as the quality of lamb has been going up, the supply of lamb has been going down, and so that's pushing prices up. Which ultimately is very good for our friends on the farm, Wammo.
But you'll never hear it from them, though, will you? It's always moan from down on the farm about prices and, we might have to diversify into something else or get into forestry or not, or get into dairy. The prices aren't very good, Vincent. Yeah,
the prices are good, and it's well deserved. New Zealand farming is incredibly efficient. We are... Despite the criticisms, we have a small environmental footprint compared to other farming nations, and we also are, quite aggressively improving our treatment of things like animals and of water. Now, water is obviously a big problem in New Zealand, and there was the recent report that showed that 89% of the Southland rivers are polluted as a result, primarily of runoff from our ag scene. But, interesting about sheep. And one of the interesting things about this report, Wammo, is that it's forecast to continue. This season of the sheep has got another 3 years in it. And a lot of the driver is from China, where the top 20% of the earners in China eat more sheep meat than the bottom end of the market. So there's a kind of a shift happening where sheep and mutton used to be poor quality. Now it's actually a premium quality, and that's all good for us.
Yeah, okay, all right, good. Yep. So it'll flow on to the rest of the economy?
I think it will, and it better, because the the plans for Auckland, I don't know if you've seen those, but incredibly ambitious plan by Len Brown for making Auckland the most livable city in the world. And he's been criticised for that, but I don't know about you, but since when should we not be ambitious and actually desire something for our city? And we know, and we all live with the frustration of Auckland as an underperforming place. But we actually have everything we need here to make this the most incredible place to live. We have great weather, we have incredible harbours, we have access to global talent. There's no reason why this couldn't be an incredible place.
The criticism from, I think it was from a far north mayor, said that it was the rural sector that provide most of the money for New Zealand, so therefore any money that's earned should go back into the rural sector.
That's kind of true, but after dairy, did you know what the next largest exporter is?
Do tell.
It's technology. It's not wool or logs or any other agricultural sector. The next largest group of exporters in terms of earnings is the technology sector, most of which is based in Auckland. So you're talking high-tech manufacturing, software, hardware, electronics, those kind of companies. And the nice thing about those firms is they're, generally speaking, they environmentally have a low footprint and they employ high-skilled workers. So it's disingenuous to say that New Zealand's an ag nation. Yes, we are primarily, but there's a growing and emerging group of companies that are really serious international players that have nothing to do with the rural sector. So I think there's and even if we were an ag nation, why wouldn't we have a fantastic city to live in that services that sector and grows off it? I mean, look at the success of Perth, and you could say, well, that's a mining town. Well, it is, but they've actually built an incredible city off the back of that. So go Len Brown in terms of his ambition, and let's get this transport thing fixed.
All right, thanks very much, Vincent. Cheers for that. It's Vincent Heeringa over at Idealog magazine, idealog.co.nz.